You may either continue from the previous lesson or open the file Chapter 15 Office Suite Layout 03.max from the Chapter 15 directory. Now that the daylight system has been added to the scene, we need to configure the daylight to work with the lighting analysis. In the top viewport, select the daylight system. You should see Daylight 001 highlighted in the command panel. We're going to configure the time, date, and location as well as the north direction for the daylight system. In order to change the position and orientation of the daylight system, click on the Motion tab to open the Motion panel. There are three ways you can set the location of the daylight. You can manually enter the position of the daylight by moving the light around. You can enter the date, time, and location by putting the hours, minutes, months, day, year, and your time zone, and then click on a map to pick your location. Or you can use a weather data file, which is what we're going to do. Because we want to have accurate weather data, we've downloaded a weatherdata.epw file. We're going to use that file to gather weather information for a particular place and set a particular time. In the daylight parameters, click on the Weather Data File option. To load a weather data file, click Setup. This opens the Configure Weather Data dialog. To open an EPW file, click the Load Weather Data button in the upper left of the dialog. Navigate to the Understanding 3D Project folder, Scenes directory, Chapter 15 subdirectory. From the Chapter 15 subdirectory, choose the USA NC Asheville.regional.ap.723150 tmy3.epw file and click Open. This file contains weather data information from a particular region, in this case, from the Asheville Regional Airport in Asheville, North Carolina. It also contains the start date and the end date. In this file, we can choose between January 1996 and December 1988. There's a total of 8,760 periods, with a data period set at once every hour. Click on Change Time Period. In the Selected Time Period from Weather Data dialog, we can scroll through and choose different dates. In this case, we want to set a specific date and time. Friday, August 31st, 1990, 1 p.m. First, we need to move the slider until we're using a time that is in 1990. Sliding the value to the right will change the date. Just look for 1990 in the year. It looks like about here gives us 1990. In order to set a specific date and time, click the Incremental Period Selector spinner for the month, either up or down until the month is set to August. Do the same with the Days spinner until the day is set to 31. Set the time to 1300 hours. That would be 1 p.m. Don't worry about the minutes. We're going to ignore them for this lesson. Click OK. Click OK again in the Configure Weather Data dialog, and this will accept the information from the weather data file. Now the only thing that we need to do is adjust the north direction to set the orientation of the building to the sun. In the location area, we want to change the north direction to 30 degrees. This will cause the north to be 30 degrees off from the y-axis in the top view. That sets our time, date, and location as well as our north direction. In order to configure the daylight system, click over to the Modify panel. We want to change some parameters in the daylight system in order to more accurately calculate the daylight in the lighting analysis. Under the Mental Ray Sky Parameters rollout, change the sky model to CIE. That's going to take the sky information from the weather data file. In the Mental Ray Sky CIE Parameters rollout, make sure the Overcast Sky option is selected. It's important to turn off the aerial perspective option. In the Mental Ray Sky Advanced Parameters rollout, uncheck the aerial perspective checkbox. Turning off aerial perspective is important because aerial perspective creates a haze that will affect our lighting analysis, and we don't want that. Our daylight system is now set up. We've configured the time, date, and location from a weather data file. We've set the sky parameters, and we've turned off the aerial perspective option. Now we're ready to move on. Go ahead and save this file by clicking Save As, and increment on Save to save the file as Chapter 15 Office Suite Layout 04.max.